best of 17 points at Southeastern. So playing with a lot of confidence right now as her team plays the second of third straight road games. And she'll have the ball as the opening tap is won by Jasmine Dixon. And the Lady Demons wearing their familiar purple for this one. Driving baseline, Dean will find Woodson for the corner three, and a great start as those two hook up right away. Woodson, their leading scorer on the year at 7.2 points per game, but Dean in conference play paces the Lady Demons at 13 per contest now. Nora Francois on the perimeter for New Orleans. Now Zoe Cooper coming off a career high 16 at HCU. Tries to muscle her way to a shot and cannot. Back to Francois for the mid-range J. That won't go. Rebound fought for and controlled nicely there by Nia Hardison, a 5'8 product of Natchitoches Central High. Of course, Natchitoches, Louisiana, the home of Northwestern State University. First player in a decade to play for her hometown school. Now Sharna Ayers, one of the best shooters in the Southland, misses the three. And the other way with it, the rebound for Bree Ellis. Now Francois left open from deep no. She tries to chase down her shot, and Dixon able to keep it from her for another board. But then got her ball handling messed up there, looking for a guard to get it to, and turned it over. First turnover of the game, and we'll see if the Privateers can ramp up their pressure to the point that we've seen them force 20 turnovers 6 different times this year, including 25 in their last home game against A&M Corpus Christi. Ellis looking down low and tried to force it in there, and we get a kick ball. We'll do it all over again. You may notice New Orleans, their colors, if you haven't watched, were silver and blue, but for Mardi Gras season, Carnival season in the Crescent City, Privateers often wear these purple, green, and gold theme uniforms, the colors traditionally of Mardi Gras. After the inbound, Dixon active again, knocking it away. And the Privateers tried to establish the inside game early, and we got 3 very different post players who are often involved. We talk about Cooper and Francois, and off the bench as well, Naja Scott. Francois gets her shot blocked and out of bounds. Again and again, Dixon coming up with some early plays on this end of the floor. 6'3", the junior who transferred in a couple of years ago from Prairie View, and now an offensive foul is called, a clear out against De'Erica Pryor. Pryor making her second straight start for New Orleans. For a while, she had been coming off the bench. Still the leading scorer at over 12 points per game. And capable of a lot more than that when she heats up. Dean penetrates, kicks again, this time shut down Woodson. Not able to get one off. Hardison with a tough pass in traffic, and there's Dixon saving it once more. And we get Ayers called for the travel on the perimeter. Ayers scored the first 7 points for Northwestern State on the road on Thursday night and played well, but had to deal with some foul trouble before fouling out, finished with 13 points. But what she's able to do is hit the three. She had all of her field goals, 3 of them from deep against SLU. Now in the post, Justice Raw shoots an air ball fading away, and Ayers, who defended well, they're able to come up with it. She'll handle in traffic the other way. Now Woodson is very quick off the dribble. Nowhere to go. New Orleans will put a great deal of pressure on the basketball. Ayers drives, and it looked like a clean block on the help defense. And it was, but the foul will go against Cooper with the bottom. And the first free throws of the game coming to the Lady Demons. New Orleans actually started slowly offensively at HCU before going on to a 57-48 win. First free throw good by Ayers. 9-0 they were down just over 2 minutes into the contest, but able to keep their poise, and the Privateers win by 9. Second free throw for Ayers is a little strong. UNO with it, trailing 4-zip. Pryor, who's efficient in transition oftentimes, and Dean knew it, was waiting for it. Justice Ross again with the basketball. Her defense, a big reason why UNO came up with the win at Sharp Gym in Houston last time out. Pull-up jumper, good. A really nice rise and fire there for Bree Ellis. And Ellis normally, when she hits her first shot in the game, gets comfortable on the offensive end. Had 24 in UNO's win over A&M Commerce for a career high. Now she's trying to slap it away from Dixon, who comes up with another 50-50 ball for the Lady Demons. Around the arc it goes. Woodson looks for her second three. Nothing but net. And she enjoyed that one. Woodson with a big smile on her face with 6 early points. Pryor tries to get it back and answers with a 3-ball of her own. So 2 veteran guards in this league who can make things happen. Woodson comes at it again, no good on the right side jumper. Ross the other way. Once again against Ayers, shut down. Ross not at 6 feet, your traditional post-up player. She's much better going downhill like this, but she gets tied up this time by Ayers. The arrow pointing the way of New Orleans. And it took UNO a while to find open looks, trying to force the ball down deep into the lane against HCU. Some adjustments were made there, but Ross hit 2 big shots in the first half for her 5 points. Where she really made things happen was on the defensive end with 3 block shots. Now Ellis in the lane, a tough pull-up, muscled in. And she's 2 for 2 from the floor to tie it at 7. So guard play on display early on in the Southland matchup. Now Hardison has her shot blocked out of bounds. Tried for the floater there, and that's a first rejection for Ross. Second in the Southland in block shots. And it's her ability to recover like that and move the reason why. Vinny and Tombway checking in during the timeout. Now Dean passes out of the lane. Another bomb from Woodson won't go this time, but it's tapped out for another look for Northwestern State. Now trying to force it, Woodson lost the basketball. Pryor, her first steal. An all-defensive player in this league last year, and UNO will now slow things down. In a 7-7 game, Privateers will look for their first lead. Ross, again against Ayers, stopped once more and traveled with it. So Ayers has gotten the better of that matchup on this end of the court so far. The 5'10 senior out of Melbourne, Australia, started her college career at LSU, and it's been a staple for the Demons and head coach Anna Nims. Hardison now out, and the first time today we've seen Carla Zelaya, 5'11", a sophomore out of Spain. The only player for the Lady Demons this year to register a double-double. Now we have an illegal screen called on the Lady Demons. And Tombway, and you see it time and time again on the perimeter. If you lean into it in any way, forward, stick a hip out or leg out, you're going to get whistled if you're the screener. Halfway through the first quarter in a tie game. Again, Ellis forces one up under pressure, this time short. Woodson speedy in transition, and Ellis able to recover. Around the arc it goes. Dean called, though, for the travel. Got ahead of herself. As Northwestern State turns it over for a competitive series overall. This their 30th meeting all-time today. New Orleans with a 15-14 advantage, but the Privateers have won 8 out of the last 10 in the series and nearly came up with the sweep last year. A dramatic victory for Northwestern State on their home floor, the last meeting between the teams. Now Naja Scott right in the game and drawing a foul. And we'll see who the whistle is on. Looks like it'll be Celaya, called for the reach-in. And Scott usually gets right down to business when she gets her opportunities. She started well over 40 games in her Privateer career, 3rd year on the lakefront, the native of the Shreveport-Bossier area. Pryor will launch again for 3-0. Cooper trying to come up with the loose ball. Kept it alive, and it's going to be last touched by Dean in Northwestern State. That's what Cooper does so well as an offensive rebounder. It's her mobility that's made her one of the better players in that category in the Southland. Also a third-year privateer. Alexis Calderon in a spark plug, whether she starts or comes in as a reserve, out there on the right wing right now. Scott at the free throw line over to Ross. Ross will feed it back into the post. Scott goes to work and banks it in over Dixon. So immediate impact for New Orleans off their bench. And now on the perimeter, Calderon at 5'4". She puts pressure on the ball all over the place, but a little too aggressive that time. First lead for New Orleans here on their home floor. Suffered 2 losses to the co-regular season champions last year. Other than that, 3 victories. Now Dixon with great deep position, able to turn it, shoot it, and get the friendly bounce. And that was all about her position in the lane. Once you get into that restricted area for the feed, you should be able to cash in. Calderon looking for cutters. She can shoot it from out there, and she's dangerous on the dribble. Now working off the basketball, Ross, and Scott stepping out. She'll go to work facing up this time and draw another foul. This time going right at Dixon. And it's interesting to see what the Privateers do with their post players. Nobody who's really leaning towards the deep post up, although that's something that Francois can do. But facing up, these Privateer forwards are dangerous. And called in the act of shooting. Scott will shoot a pair here. Averaging 5.7 points per game. Made 8 starts this year. This her 8th in reserve, and hitting the foul shot. And she gets there quite a bit for the time she steps onto the floor, coming in at 65% on the season. And able to get the roll. This is a chance for UNO to set up some full court pressure with Jayla Kimbrough. Another scoring option for the Privateers out there at the tip of it. Handled well by the Lady Demons, who trailed by 2. Into the post to Jordan Todd, trying to come back from injury, slowing down her career, and has it stripped. Another steal for Pryor. Pryor last year led the Southland in that category. This year, it's Alexis Calderon for UNO. So far, the conference leader in steals. You've got a couple players who fit the mold of what UNO is trying to do defensively to create havoc. Now a pull-up jumper on the baseline, not going down for Calderon. Dean the other way, looking for a trailer and threw it into space. I think she saw Todd out of the corner of her eye, but Ayers able to pick it up. Ayers running over Scott, an offensive foul. Go through UNO games and find one where Najah Scott doesn't draw a charge on plays just like that. If you can predict one thing in a Privateer game, it's that. UNO trailed by 5 early, now looking to add to their 2-point advantage. And Scott is clearly a target to attack with. Now trying to face up against Todd, will shoot it and miss from 15. Todd able to recover for the board. A couple of years ago, she was a double-double machine for the Lady Demons. Provides the kind of size with touch around the rim that is so valuable at this level. Ayers with it with the shot clock down to 8. Pulls up for a tough 3. Wow. A step back. Almost scraped the roof. Ayers with her 41st made 3 of the year. She showed she can do it off the dribble as well, as we've seen her spot up many times in this league. Cooper tried to bounce it in, a kick ball on the Demons. Scott continues to slide down to the low block as a primary option in this stretch of play. Ayers will get a breather. Hardison back on the floor, now wide open. Calderon, a corner three, misses everything, and an over the back will go against Kimbrough in New Orleans. Hardison, a tough box out there. She flexes her shoulder. Took a little bit of a shot from behind. Boxing out is just one of the dirty work parts of the game that you need to do, and sometimes you get the bumps and bruises for it. Hardison over the shoulder to Todd, out. Celaya for three, won't go. Now Calderon, smallest player on the floor, up ahead to Pryor. Pryor going inside and off the window at the top and in. Whether inside or out, Dee Dee Pryor can flat out score the basketball. Final minute of the period. Woodson, the three, tried for her third. That one wouldn't drop. Pryor, with a 3-on-3 opportunity, thought better of it. Kimbrough will pull up after one dribble. Rattled out on her, though. And now the Lady Demons should be able to hold for the final shot of the quarter. And try to retake the lead here in a good back and forth first 10 minutes. Woodson taking the air out of the ball, looking for an opportunity, running out of time, uses Todd to shoot deep. No, followed her shot, and no, don't count that bucket. Things happen to have a chance to win in the Southland Conference, and both of these teams believe that they do. And we've seen some of that on display already. Dean takes the inbound, and now a chance to attack for the Lady Demons, and Woodson's been busy early, taking 6 shots so far. Dean off the career high into the paint, stops and passes out a three for Ayers, and that's perfectly executed offense with 3 players on the perimeter who can hurt you all with touches, leading to Ayers, the open three. Now she has 7 points to lead all scores. And if you're New Orleans, you don't want to have to help and leave a shooter like that open, but it happened there. Pryor will go to work on Todd and shoots over her, but too strong. So far, so good for the Lady Demons on the boards. They've out-rebounded UNO by 5 with that latest defensive rebound. A close series, a close game here. There have been some fun ones between these two programs. Dean misses the jumper left side. UNO fighting for that rebound. The quick outlet, Pryor finds Kimbrough. Tough pass for her to try to make, and Ross saves it, but right to Dean. 3 Privateers in front of her. Dean finds the trailing Ayers, though, for another bomb. This one won't go. Todd saves the rebound, though. And Northwestern State coming up with these 50-50 balls at key times. Ayers with Ross in front of her. Now Hardison trying to set up a screen for herself with the shot clock running down. Can't get off the shot on the switch, and now it's stolen by Kimbrough, but she falls and throws it away. Woodson misses the layup. So UNO didn't pay for the bad break there as Kimbrough lost her footing. Quickly down the floor into the post, and then bounced into the corner. Pryor misses the three. So you see UNO trying to quickly get into attack and transition. Northwestern State has been more patient with it, as New Orleans sagging and switching a little bit on the perimeter. Dean, the ball fake, and then an air ball fading away. Didn't get squared up with her balance quite right. Calderon has it poked away. Dean saw what she was doing and comes up with it. Now numbers for the Lady Demons. Woodson will keep it herself. 8 points for her. Woodson and Ayers combining for 15 of the 17 Lady Demon points. Their biggest lead was 5 early in the game, 4 now. Francois left open but can't convert the long ball. Been a lot of one and done for UNO so far. Dean running into Francois, well defended by the 6'2" product of Minneapolis. Other way, pull up J, beautiful. And that's something that Alexis Calderon's been working on in her game. She's so quick off the dribble, creating fouls if she can't get in for easy buckets. And capable shooting from the outside, but that mid-range game is just another facet as she grows more and more comfortable on the Division I level. Todd with it in the post, backing down Francois and using her strength nicely there. The lead back to 4 for the Lady Demons, who are showing a zone. But an easy pass into the post. Francois decided to find Pryor on the opposite wing, and then she loses it. Hardison has it poked away. Pryor comes up with another turnover, and Hardison, trying to get it back, commits a foul. Maybe a bit of a frustration foul there. UNO trying to bring in Bree Ellis, multiple subs for the Lady Demons. Pryor should be credited with her 3rd steal already in this game. Nine turnovers now for the Lady Demons already. Nothing new for what UNO tends to do to opponents. But trailing by 4 as Ellis goes baseline and the push is called on Celaya. Lady Demons facing a tough road swing here against in-state rivals. Of course, Southeastern on Thursday night and here in New Orleans before they take on McNeese next Thursday. Then back to play 4 of their next 5 at home, and they won't leave Louisiana for essentially 4 weeks the way the schedule played out. Pryor saves it on 1 foot in front of the Lady Demon bench. Now Ross will shoot from long range and can't get it to go. The long board leads to a little bit of a transition look as Jermisa Frierson in for the first time. You see the Lady Demons in general making smart decisions on the break. It's not there. They're willing to run their offense, and they've gotten good looks. Woodson flips to Hardison. Once again looking for a runway and a screener with the shot clock running down. 6 it. And the floater is too strong. Rebound picked up by Ellis. And what a finish on the other end. She never gave it up. Ivana Miljanic trying to make that shot on one end. Had to force something up there, and Ellis did it all by herself from there. She's 3 of 4 shooting with 6 points, and UNO back within 2. Woodson from deep again, and now not finding the range, and over the back will be called on Dixon and Northwestern State. I think UNO would be just fine with Northwestern State settling for contested jumpers. That's a good box out there. And lead by 2 as a result. UNO, though, having a little better of it getting into the painted area. So a bit of a battle of different modes of attack so far. UNO trying to size up what they're seeing defensively here, and it looks like man-to-man on this trip. Francois gets it in the lane and is called for the travel. Had a chance to go after it. Ane Ostaloa checking in. Doesn't see a ton of playing time, but that time she fell down. And Francois thought she had an easy lane to the back, but turned it over. UNO 7. Ayers around the screen. Throws one up on the run. No, Ostaloa with the follow. Also not good, and an over the back call will go against Northwestern State. one away from the bonus at the 4:02 mark, and New Orleans hasn't been called for a foul in the period. Both teams shooting around 30% so far, with 7 made field goals apiece. On the cutter, no, actually Ross wasn't looking for the basketball. Francois thought she was breaking underneath, and Ross had it whiz by her ear for a turnover. You see Dean, Ayers, Hardison, all capable ball handlers on the perimeter, along with Woodson to try to spread New Orleans out. But once again, the shot clock working against Northwestern State. Dean will dump it inside. Astaloa gets the rebound back on the shot. Fortunate there, short. Now Ayers from downtown does it again. Her third 3 already, and the first player in double figures with 10. And matching the Lady Demons' biggest lead of the afternoon so far. Getting second chances and working inside out to a good shooter like Ayers, a pretty good combination. Francois on the help D, able to pass it out to an open Ross, and UNO not hitting the 3-ball early. Francois keeping it alive though, stealing a possession for UNO. A tough angle and missing everything, Calderon. Now Hardison trapped. And they call a very fast held ball, the arrow pointing to UNO. And you saw the awareness there by the Privateers, immediately realizing extra defenders were right there in the corner instead of giving up on the play, going right for the trap on their own. Rotating bigs at Northwestern State, and Tom Way back out there. And now Kimbrough in for Ross. Bree Ellis with 6 and Dee Dee Pryor with 5 leading New Orleans, but not a lot of consistent scoring out there. Scott's been good off the bench, but passed off, and a nice job indeed, and a missed layup for Kimbrough. She had beaten the shot clock. Looked like it slipped out of her hand. Woodson to Ayers, another deep ball. This won't go, and there was enough of a contest that time to make Ayers move. Now Pryor forcing the issue, can't bank it home. And lately UNO just struggling to score the basketball. Down 5, looking for more. Hardison the latest to hit a bomb for the Lady Demons. They've hit 6 from 3 in the half. Biggest lead yet at 8. And the team that almost shoots it as well, particularly in league play, from outside the arc is inside, showing you how they can beat you. Now Scott steps through 2 and draws the whistle. So UNO trying to get downhill, get it to their forwards. Scott's had the most success of the group so far. And UNO will be in the bonus for the last 90 seconds of this half. Scott hitting the only 2 free throws of the game, though, so far for UNO. But the Privateers have done a nice job of responding to dry spells and deficits in games and bouncing back. They're maturing as a basketball team as Scott hits the free throw. There's no panic in this group. As we mentioned, trailing 9-0 at HCU in the blink of an eye did not faze a New Orleans team that's above 500 in the league. Scott perfect at the line so far. But Northwestern State with the ball up 6, seeing some pressure. Woodson taking advantage of it, and Todd lays it in. That's what you're supposed to do when people trap you. Get it across the timeline fast and find the advantage. And Todd is 2 for 2. Kimbrough called for the charge. Woodson had her set up with the right-hand drive. She knew it was coming. And Woodson's been terrific in this half. She got things going by hitting 2 early threes. But a couple of assists lately. And a steal to her credit. Dean to Ayers and Woodson. And their spacing's been really good. Even though they've seen the shot clock work against them at times, they've been patient. Hardison with the dish. Todd is fouled down low. If you hit open shots, too, and multiple players do it, you find those gaps defensively in and around the lane. That time Hardison on the drive. And Todd's been uber productive so far since coming in. 4 points and 4 rebounds. And that reminds us of the player that we saw early in her career. Significant knee injuries, as you see the brace on her left knee, can really slow you down, the 6'1" senior from Eagle River, Alaska. Chance to put her team up double digits, and she is perfect at the line. Might be the last possession of the half for UNO. Just 19 points so far on 29% shooting. Kimbrough creates space. Tough elbow. Jay rattles home for her. I think we might have a delay of game warning on UNO after the basket. Lady Demons would certainly like to hold for the final shot of the half, but UNO will at least apply some pressure in the backcourt. Ayers and Woodson, no problem. Now you can expect Woodson just to run it down. Dean with it. We've seen a lot of bigs come out for screens in those spots. Dean falls down, able to pass it off. Hardison beats the buzzer and gets it back. Actually, it's Dean who follows, but it won't count anyway. EDU. Third quarter begins. Northwestern State with the ball and the 29-21 lead. And we've seen them show patience in the half court and find some open looks from the perimeter with Shauna Ayers leading the way with 10 points. Now Jiselle Woodson will dish it off to Carmela Dean, who redirects on the dribble, gets inside and scores it. 10-point lead, matching their biggest.
Yeah, a lot of dribble handoff action there from Northwestern State, coming right out the gate, getting downhill and attacking.
And they've been really good at finding the ability to kick it back out for open jumpers, along with what players like Dean have done on the drive. And UNO continues to find success going to Naja Scott in the deep post, and she'll go to the line, it looks like, again.
Yeah, great opening set from Coach Powell to get the ball inside. Jump ball.
Oh, they call
jump
a held ball. So
possession stays with the Privateers.
Pryor with it inside the arc. Had 5 points early in the first half. Quiet since then. Back into Scott, who will work on Dixon, who backs off of her, and an easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, great post feed. Naja, for a left-handed post player, has improved her right hand. Incredible. Takes it middle for an easy right-hand baby hook.
UNO finding success there in the post. Can they find turnovers to create for them as they do there? Ross coming up with the loose ball. Now Ellis has it poked away. Pryor picks it up. Cooper with Scott battling again in the lane. Now on the low block right with the catch. She'll go at Dixon, spin to her left, duck under, and almost gets the three-point play.
Great counter, a little up and under. If you're going throwback basketball, a Kevin McHale front pivot, up and under, step through, almost finished with that right hand. I bragged too soon about her right hand improvement, but very close to converting a three-point play. And an awesome start for Naja. They go right at Dixon inside for Northwestern State and get her in foul trouble right off the bat. And a great job by Coach Powell and the staff.
Scott's the only Privateer to go the line so far, and she remains perfect there, 5 for 5. I love that Kevin McHale reference, because particularly with the elbows out and just creating that extra space, it's a It's a cheeky little deal. Nobody wants to get hit with an accidental elbow, and Scott really good at finishing around the rim this year in those situations. But finally misses, and Todd comes up with her 5th rebound already for the Lady Demons, who lead by 7. Your two programs, Trelane Powell and, of course, talking to Mark Schlesinger, focus on creating turnovers, and the best in the conference on both sides at that. But today, not a lot coming off of turnovers so far for UNO, but you know they'll stick to it and can change the game in a hurry. Ayers with another open look for 3, no. Todd with the flip after the rebound doesn't complete the finish, and now we have 2 going to the floor fighting for the board here.
It's going to be curious to see who that foul goes on, whether it's the Lady Demons or for us.
Hardison getting Cooper landing right on top of her, fighting for the ball.
I thought Zoe was in a great position right there. Oh my goodness gracious.
Called for her second foul.
Tough break. Good defense right out the gate. Northwestern's really trying to be a little bit more deliberate than they've been in the past. They're working the shot clock down, which is really hurting UNO's ability to turn them over.
Looking for Todd inside again, and Scott draws her second player control foul of the game. She is so good at that, Coach.
So good. Dramatic pause by our 2 officials who were in a stare-down contest to see who was going to take responsibility for the call. They both blew the whistle, but the right call. She was the legal defender in position outside of the restricted area. An easy call for either one of them. I'm glad one of them finally did take the gumption to take it.
And Scott really smiling there. She knows she sold that and then some. As UNO looks to battle back into this game. Ellis, the rainmaker 3 will certainly help.
Raindrops.
9 points for Ellis as she hits the second New Orleans 3 of this game. Ayers to Dean. She'll shoot one and get it right back for the Lady Demons, who now have hit 7 from behind the arc.
Tough closeout, tough break. Just a good shot over the Privateers.
Cooper in space, back out to Ross, and good ball movement. Ellis will try her luck again.
Big time 3. Way to answer back. Incredible basketball. Offensive explosion to start this third quarter, Jude.
Ball movement is key, Coach, and the Privateers and Lady Demons have had that lately. UNO back within 4. Dean, who hit the jumper a moment ago, this time off the dribble, misses from the mid-range. Pryor looking to make it a 1-possession game here. Slow in transition, as Lady Demons have done such a good job of getting back defensively so far. Now Todd off her feet, and Scott is fouled on the floor, they're going to say, before the shot.
Naj has done a great job of being able to front pivot, face up, get her defender up in the air. Went with a step through right there, and the official called the contact on the floor. Very, very close. Northwestern's got to go to the bench again. Second foul now on Todd. So the strategy by Coach Powell to go inside early and often paying off.
And Dixon with 3 fouls, the starting pivot for Northwestern State, so they have to go deeper into their bench, as you mentioned. Scott this time not able to get off the shot, and Ayers able to step in for the steal. Dean looking to Ntombwe, who can't bank it home. Now Pryor hasn't had much of a chance in moments like this, but will go at Dean and get to the hole, but can't convert. Dean down the near side. Scott the only defender remaining. To the trailer, and Ntombwe, who can't handle it. Back and forth action here. Will Ellis continue the attack? She finds Pryor, who loses it out of bounds for New Orleans.
That was like watching a versus King tennis match. Back and forth, back and forth.
A baseline rally, if you will.
Oh man, what pace, what tempo. This is more for UNO's tempo. The ability to get the ball up and down plays more in their favor. The possession count is better for them. I'm happy, and I'm sure Coach is too, with the start for this third quarter for them.
Now Dean on the drive runs into. Yeah, there's Francois getting over on the baseline down deep.
Nor great defensive footwork, cutting her off, using her foot speed to be able to cut her off onto the baseline. Steps out of bounds. And this is what we're doing. They're creating possession, creating opportunities. Let's see if they go back inside in the post. Now to Nora. We got a horn set with Zoe and Nora up top at the elbows.
Ellis, who's ignited the offense here, will try to find Cooper, and the third kick ball of the game going against the Lady Demons. But the New Orleans' bigs, they don't have your traditional deep post back down players, but Francois has some size to work with. But she does well facing up, and it's really Scott who's brought the most of that on the deep post to the game for UNO today. Cooper is much more of a face-up player, as we see here. Try to do it off the dribble against a smaller defender. Hardison flips it up, no. And cleared by Ntombwe and the Lady Demons. New Orleans outscored the Lady Demons by 4 in the quarter. But you mentioned it, Coach. It's been a battle of pace here that certainly favored Northwestern State.
Yeah, no doubt. I think the Privateers have got to try to continue to create turnovers, create tempo.
The shot clock down to 6, and Ntombwe with a surprise. She takes off and lays it home. I think she caught UNO napping there, not thinking she was capable of that.
Yeah, they're running a little dribble weave off the top, right off the top of the key, and she's just pivoting, looking to wheel and deal.
First bucket for her at a good time for the visitors, who lead by 6. Now Pryor off the screen. Can't complete the and one, but will shoot 2.
Great answer back for them. They ran a shuffle cut off the elbow there. Got the first cutter on a tight curl. Being able to go to the line right now at the media timeout. Good break for UNO to be able to put these two.
Making her 6th start today, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. She averages 30 minutes a game, 25 points away from 1,000 in her career. And when she's playing well, usually New Orleans is in good shape as she hits the foul shot.
She's such a fantastic scorer, can score it at all 3 levels, has great pace, being able to get in there and draw fouls and get to the line where she's just fantastic. She's been a joy to watch play during her career.
Over 80% this year from the stripe to go along with her 6 rebounds to lead UNO. She has 7 points. The Privateers back within 4, but Northwestern State has been able to come up with key answers in these situations so far. Pryor nearly creates a turnover right there.
Privateers jumped in like we talked about going into the break, a little 1-2-2 zone press. You've got to keep that ball out of the middle. So important, and Northwestern was able to get it in the middle. But another deflection. Didi was great on the ball there, being able to get a deflection. We came back with our speed lineup as well, coming back with Calderon.
Dean splits 2 defenders, floater short, and the rebound cleared by the Privateers and Francois. Chance to get a little closer. You mentioned Calderon back out there. Over to Ross, who muscles it up, and we play on, no whistle, out of bounds to the Privateers.
A lot of contact on that drive, a lot of contact. That's what Coach Powell's having an in-depth discussion with the official back now. Offset box, end out right here. Calderon's triggering it.
Ayers has been physical with Ross when they've matched up. Ayers on the defensive end, that is Cooper with it. Back to the smaller defender. This time will throw it up, but first called for the travel.
Yeah, just a little unsure on that jugger pivot foot. Wasn't able to hold on, but I like where they were going with it. A great set by Coach.
Anna Nem's going with a smaller guard to defend Cooper, knowing she's more comfortable facing up. We've seen that a couple times here as Cooper been caught not being able to find the angle. Now Hardison will go at Ross, and she adds to her rejection total with her 2nd of the game.
J. Ross has such good timing. I mean, she just has this innate ability to be able to time those blocks up so great.
She does it so often with players on the move, not your traditional shot blocker, but 2nd in the league in that category. Now after the air ball, it's out of bounds to the Privateers. Northwestern State now just 3 of 9 in the quarter, but they've been right at 33% shooting for the game. UNO 3 of 6 in the period. And again, just trying to get over the hump here against Northwestern State, and a big one at home if you're New Orleans. But Ayers comes up with the deflection and the steal for the Lady Demons, and she'll pull up and look for another 3 and bury her 4th of the game.
Big time decision. That was a feast or famine shot.
Aussie.
Yeah, she makes that one. She makes that one. It's a big shift for them. Misses it. That was the oh no yes shot.
13 points for a 2nd straight game, and she'll have a chance for more today. Now Calderon on the cut, walks with it. Woodson, tough to keep up with Calderon on the move, but Woodson's been really good on both ends today.
Yeah, she's playing very well. She's a veteran guard. I think you and I feel like she's probably been there for about 8 years. Seems like we've been watching her play for many, many years, more than 4 for sure.
And Dean, who's been there a long time too, finally helped, making them a really good 1-2 punch as they lead by 7, and once again willing to take their time. Ayers around Ntomwe, Cooper with her. Now Dean into Ntomwe, who scores it. Got herself great position with the seal there. 4 points all in the quarter for Ntomwe. The advantage back up to 9 for Northwestern State. They keep coming up with answers on the road today. Cooper will face up this time and miss from the mid-range.
Naja Scott goes back to the table to sub back in. Need to bring her inside presence back in.
Woodson and 1 muscled it home. And everything going Northwestern State's way as they've kept UNO scoreless for nearly 3 minutes. It's a 7-0 Lady Demon run.
Naja Scott and Bria coming back in for the Privateers. When we had our best run there to start the third quarter, this was the lineup that we have. And I'll be curious to see if we go right back inside to Naja and see if we can get either her to the foul line or a quick basket inside.
Northwestern State dropping their last 2 games. Close ones they thought they should have pulled out, including at Southeastern on Thursday. But now up 12, biggest lead yet, and playing with a lot of confidence. Weaving up front, Ross and now Ellis, who will pull up and miss from the elbow. Ayers, another board for the Lady Demons. They've got numbers the other way. Woodson passes it off, though, and once again, they'll pull it out.
Yeah, they're controlling the tempo right now on the offensive end for sure.
New Orleans backing off of these guards, not being able to apply the pressure they would like to here. Shot clock at 5. Does Woodson realize it? She does not, and they'll turn it over. A 30-second violation. A little surprising, as good as they've been managing the shot clock so far.
A great defense by the Privateers to be able to guard the full shot clock, the full 30 seconds. Another big possession for us right here.
And in the hands of Pryor to try to start things off on this possession, try to get her going. She has 7 points. Ellis has chipped in nicely with a Privateer high 12. But they may need Pryor to heat up here. Scott has been reliable down low. Past Ntomwe for the lay-in.
Great footwork again. She's putting on a footwork clinic inside. We can keep the ball going inside to her. She's got a hot hand.
11 for Scott, and Ntomwe misses the jumper from 16. UNO needing a good finish to this quarter. We'll try to come up with another bucket on this trip, but Ellis is called for the foul, and Woodson again creating the charge for Northwestern State.
Man, tough break right there. I thought Bree was able to turn the corner, get downhill, be able to try to maybe get to the foul line off of it, but a tough break for her to be able to draw the charge, unfortunately. But now we've got to create another one. We've got to be able to take advantage of these turnovers we're forcing. We've been able to take them out of some scoring opportunities, but then we've been turning it over right back.
And points off turnovers not coming through today so far for UNO. Part of the reason why the Lady Demons are looking to add to a double-digit lead, but misses the 3 there, just Woodson. Hardison on the follow comes up with it, and she'll go to the line with 37.9 to go in the quarter.
Yeah, tough break with a long air ball, weak side box out. There, the ball was a long shot, just caught J. Ross off, or not unexpectedly, I guess I should say. And they were able to get the offensive rebound and go back to the line.
We mentioned Hardison being a Natchitoches product out of Natchitoches Central, who played for a couple of seasons at Southwest Mississippi Junior College and now able to play at home. And she's played a vital role today. Maybe the numbers don't show as she hits the first of 2 free throws. Averages 5.7 points per game, but she's been able to match up on both ends. They've been able to play small but match up defensively.
Yeah, Nikki LaCour, the coach at Natchitoches Central, is a fantastic coach, and then playing at Southwest right up the road, where former UNO assistant Corey Schmidt runs the mids program with Lamont Berzat at his side.
2 products of the Mark Schlesinger tree. You've got a tree now, man. That means you've got big roots. Just wanted to point that out.
Just means I'm getting really old, too.
You and me both. We've been together a while. As Pryor, the latest privateer to try to force her way in and turn it over. Northwestern State once more really cutting off the lane against these guards.
27 seconds left in the half. We'll see if the Lady Demons hold for one or if the Privateers are able to force a turnover to try to get one more scoring opportunity. Lady Demons will have the ball coming into the fourth quarter on the change of possession arrow.
Lady Demons have outscored the Privateers 10-2 in the second half of the period. And Woodson, looking at her head coach Anna Nims and the clock, around a couple of screens, straight away three, buried, big shot for Woodson, who has 14 to lead all scorers. She hits her third three, and her team three late in the third quarter. A bit of an exclamation point. Now they'll have to seal the deal, I should say, against New Orleans as Woodson drives and misses the runner there. Rebound Ellis. New Orleans capable of a comeback, but a pretty deep hole to dig out of. They need to be efficient on this end of the floor, and they turned it over right away. The pass going through the hands of Kimbrough. I want to thank Coach Stls as his Privateer men will take on Northwestern State in the back end of this doubleheader right here on ESPN+. About 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Woodson going to work again, misses from 15 on the baseline though. Maybe some heat check moments for her. The drive across the lane won't go for Kimbrough. Scott with the offensive board for UNO. The Privateers with just 2 second chance points today. And only their third offensive rebound. Now Kimbrough misses the jumper. It goes over the glass. Just one of those days so far for UNO. Candace Paramore was such a dynamic guard, all conference for Northwestern State. Oftentimes Woodson would take a back seat to her in some respects as far as the headlines go, but she's awfully good as well, as she's shown today. Along with Ayers' outside shooting. Their 1-2 punch, 27 of their 49 points, now creating Hardison doing Tombwe, who's fouled. And that quickness, being able to spread the floor in the half court, you see it over and over again, and once the shot clock gets down to single digits, it's either drive and kick or drive and dish, and it's worked. And UNO held to just 3 points over the last 6 minutes on the other end of the floor. Free throw by Ntombwe too strong. And the Lady Demons have used their depth. They went to it early in the first half. You're able to buy a few minutes for the top players in your rotation. It can make a big difference as far as their play over a 40-minute game. Seems to have helped the Lady Demons here. Biggest lead of 16 at the moment. Cooper lobbing for Scott. Ayers beats her to the spot and saves it. And of course the loose ball for the Lady Demons. Woodson down the floor. The hard bounce pass on the run. Hardison fades away and banks it in. When there's been a running game today, it's been by Northwestern State. And they've been fantastic here in the last 8 minutes of this game. Now Kimbrough has her shot affected. Dean to Ayers. Cooper finding her in a hurry, knows she'll pull the trigger. Woodson, the fadeaway over Ellis, no. Maybe playing a little faster than they need to with the big lead. But New Orleans has to come up with a run of their own as a kick ball again by the Lady Demons. The four head coaches between the men's and women's programs started off as junior college head coaches, moving up to their schools in the Southland. And Nims did a great job at 2 different junior colleges over 6 years. Now Kimbrough, the latest to struggle on the drive. One and done again for New Orleans. The series lately dominated by the Privateers, with 8 of the last 10 in the win column, but Northwestern State making a statement so far this afternoon. Hardison kicking, free throw line jumper, and Tomboy. You can't execute any better than that. Just breaking down the Privateers at time 2-on-2 and getting good looks. Now Scott down low, power dribble, and a late foul call. And Kimbrough, 36 to go. And Naja Scott won't take a lot of solace as a competitor, a team player, with what the score says right now, but she has played well. 5 of 6 from the line, and now with 12 points. Bree Ellis with 12 also for New Orleans, and it's been Jiselle Woodson, Sharna Ayers, 14 and 13 points respectively, but they've had plenty of help. It's been a great team effort for the Lady Demons so far. UNO's created nothing in the backcourt with their pressure because of moments like that lead to an open shot, and Ayers buries another tray. 5 of 9 from deep, and 16 points to lead all scores. Dean, Woodson, and Ayers in particular have been in total control of the tempo of this game. Now a block shot in the lane by Dixon. Loose ball leads to an open Scott jumper, no. 21's the biggest lead for Northwestern State. UNO battled back within 4 in the third quarter. Since then, the Lady Demons have been in control of this game, and now an arm bar. Calderon trying to put pressure on the ball, and you can't do that. The hand check, reaching out the arm to keep control of the ball handler. An easy call for the official. Second team foul on UNO in the quarter. Now Calderon, quick hands, knocks it into the Lady Demon bench. Veteran guards matter. Veteran players matter. And the trio we mentioned of Woodson, Dean, and Ayers, 5-year college players. When you run the shot clock down as much as they have and get so many good looks, you have to have experienced hands like Dean, who beats the clock but misses the open jumper. Good enough from the outside today. 10 trays and now 24 tries. We have a foul in the lane, and Scott will have to help herself up. As trying to get more physical with her, Jasmine Dixon called for another foul. That's her 4th. So Dixon will sit down. Not that they need to with the big lead here to protect her from fouling out, but Jordan Todd has given good shifts as well with 6 points and 6 rebounds. Back out there well rested. Scott's been busy facing up outside the lane, finding the cutting Ellis for the lay-in. Those two Privateers have been the crux of the offense so far today. Pryor able to come up with a deflection out of bounds. Northwestern State has turned it over 15 times, but UNO has not made them pay for those. Now we have a foul on the near side as Dean quickly back to her feet. Calderon trying to ramp up the pressure, one away from fouling out now. Zelaya with it. Todd wants it in the post, finally gets it. But first we have a timeout by Northwestern State. And an excellent performance for Northwestern State on the road so far. And would be their first road win of the season, I do believe. No, they actually won at Southern back in early December. And a foul called as Calderon's day will end early. Right out of the timeout, Dean went right at her with plenty of space to work with, and Calderon will leave with 2 points and 2 rebounds. Trying to argue her case after the fact before she sits down on the bench, and Dean just wants to get to work at the free throw line. And that was a 46-35 victory at Southern back on December 3rd. Tough to run on the road as the Lady Demons trying to secure their first in 3 tries in the league. We talked about Dean and the impact she's finally getting to make here this season after 2 affected by injury. The 5'7" senior for Seattle makes her opportunities there, but not able to convert. Now Pryor misses the runner. And Northwestern State's just done a really good job against dribble penetration throughout this one. Celaya back to Dean, the dish, and the bucket. The ball movement is as good as it can get right there. And Todd now has 8 points. Against the zone, Scott in the middle of it will turn, spin, shoot, have it go around and out. That kind of day for UNO. Pryor comes up with the steal. Her 3rd of the day, and then has it slip away. And Woodson, with a 4-on-1 break, decides the clock is more important. And that takes a lot of maturity in a moment like that. Stick with the game plan. Out of Corner, Alabama, came to Northwestern State from Wallace State. Woodson will force up a 3 and get fouled. And a frustrated Ellis just smiles after the fact. And I think some of that's the effect of Northwestern State has done such a good job late in the clock. You feel like, oh, here it comes. I've got to contest. I've got to do a little more. Woodson's hit her only free throw today. She's played every second of this one. And a chance to go 3 for 3 on this trip. She scored 32 in the Southland tournament last year, a first-round win, and hit 7 threes. But her game is handling the ball. She doesn't turn it over a bunch. Came in with just 9 turnovers in 5 league games. Just 2 today. Cooper, open, 17-footer no. Airs another rebound. Quietly approaching a double-double. Up ahead, Celaya lays it home. Her first bucket. And a foul on the baseline will go on Northwestern State. Celaya, the 5'11" sophomore, transferred in from Vermont. Out of Spain, you know, we see a lot of Spaniards on the A&M Corpus Christi roster. Almost surprised in the league when they don't have all of them. Scott drives, runs into Todd, and gets the foul call to go her way. Now maybe suffering a cramp after the fact. Scott, as always, giving max effort. She'll get stretched out by a teammate. Yeah, you can tell. Cramped up on her right away. Still trying to work it out as she toes the line. I always say that when you get these colder than normal spells this time of year, especially in deep South Louisiana, we're not used to getting under the freezing mark at 32 degrees, but it's been like that a couple times this week as Scott bangs in another foul shot. 8 of 9 from the stripe so far. And you get that indoor heating effect that dries everything and everyone out. You have to hydrate more when it's cold. sometimes your normal routine isn't enough. What a game for Scott, and Woodson fouled in the backcourt. Northwestern State in the double bonus can add to this lead. Scott played with Jordan McLemore, who's an injured Northwestern State player. They're both from Captain Shreve High School. Helped make them a state championship program. McLemore, the 5'11 junior, another really good experienced player that Northwestern State doesn't have at their disposal. Woodson with 17 points now. Continues to bang them in at the line herself. Scott, by the way, has matched a career high with 15 points. Doing that in 20 minutes. And Woodson up to 19 to lead all scores. Kyla Davis checking in for the first time. She can provide some outside shooting. Scott gets her career high. And we'll look for more on the and one. She's going to have the bumps and the bruises and the floor burns again to prove her effort in this one on both ends of the court. That time just too quick for Todd. Becomes the second Lady Demon forward with 4 fouls. Able to complete the three-point play. Dixon returns as Todd will leave. Man pressure for UNO as Cooper comes off to try the trap, and that leads to the steal for Ellis. Pryor passes back to Ellis. Flips it to the wing for 3. Won't go. Ayers now 1 rebound away from a double-double. She's come up with a lot of defensive rebounds in this second half. Now for Northwestern State, no need to do anything but run the clock, but Celaya gets an open 3 and says, I'll take it. Another assist for Dean, who's got 8. Been a 3-headed monster, creating all of these great looks for the Lady Demons. Now Scott picks one off the floor. Will face up and shoot over Dixon. No. There's the double-double for Ayers. Second double-double of the season for the Lady Demons. And a lot of bright spots for Northwestern State. It'll go in the career high books for this one. Woodson with the shot clock again, down to 3, tries to pass late, and it'll be a 30-second call. And they won't mind that. Mission accomplished, running clock. UNO reaching their average of turnovers by an opponent per game there with the 18th. Ellis for 3. No. And Cooper touched it last. Privateers will have to regroup after this one and have a tough task going to Lamar on Thursday night. Northwestern State will try to make it a winning road swing at McNeese in 4 days. Celaya and now Ayers to run more clock. It'll be interesting to see when you have these conference matchups and rematch what UNO's able to do when they go to Natchitoches for the rematch. Dean, the 3 rattles out. Scott will bring it up herself. Once again, she's the focal point. Out to Davis, the pass, the 3, no. Ellis goes over the back. UNO, when they've gotten to the line, has been good at 12 of 13 today. Northwestern State 6 of 9 from the stripe in the quarter and 12 of 16 for the game. And Dean, who's 0 for 2, a trip recently, will get another couple shots at it. But 8 assists and 5 rebounds to go with her 5 points. And make it 6. So even though she's just 2 of 11 from the field, she's contributed in plenty of other ways after scoring 17 with 6 rebounds against Southeastern. Final seconds of this one. Pryor trying to feed the post. There's Dean with the quick hands. Her 3rd steal. And now foul in the backcourt, and frustration continues for UNO. And Ellis will become the 2nd privateer to foul out. She got off to a great start shooting the basketball, but ends up only playing 17 minutes in this one, scoring 14. Had 24 for a career high in UNO's win over A&M Commerce. But the Privateers with not near enough firepower on this afternoon. Southland is a league. It's an any given day type of conference, home or away. Free throw good. And when you look at these rosters, you see so many experienced guards, particularly players that are in their 5th year, multiple years in their program. And the guards often who play best determine the outcome. Today, Northwestern State has had the advantage there. Pryor trying to bully her way past Dean. Davis, another 3 attempt, misses another. And with the shot clock off, Northwestern State can start celebrating. Woodson fittingly can dribble out the clock here if she so chooses, and she will, on a 72-43 win, a comprehensive victory with a dominating final 15 minutes.